Here we are at the landmark giant oak tree that marks the main entrance into Table Mountain Ecological Area near Oroville, California. It's a beautiful day. We're going to explore waterfalls and visit grand vistas of wildflowers. Let's get started. Spring is a very busy time to visit the ecological area because only in spring does Phantom Falls flow, or even Hollow Falls shown here, probably the two most famous waterfalls in the park. Hollow Falls is closer, so we're going to visit that first. Waterfall season is also wildflower season on Table Mountain. Many people come to check out the beautiful flowers during this time of year. One of the creeks flowing through North Table Mountain Ecological Area. This creek goes to Hollow Falls, which is one of the more well-known, as I mentioned earlier, waterfalls here in Table Mountain. We've arrived here at Hollow Falls, one of the most visited and interesting looking waterfalls at Table Mountain. There's a nice steep hill a lot of people climb up to get out of here. It's way back to the parking lot and other areas of the park. A lot of the other areas of the park is by climbing up that hill above Hollow Falls. There is a regular trail out of here too, but a lot of people don't know where it is, or they enjoy taking the steep trail. All right, we're here at Scott Falls out in North Table Mountain and near Oroville, California. From Scott Falls, we're going to make our way back up the hollow, up Hollow Falls, across the tabletop, and down to Little Hollow Falls. There's a little cascade here, small waterfall, whatever, on the creek that leads to Little Hollow Falls. Here we are at Little Hollow Falls, just northwest of Hollow Falls, a very seasonal stream and creek that flows only a few weeks a year. We now head across the beautiful flowery meadows of North Table Mountain toward Ravine Falls, Upper Ravine Falls, and Fern Falls. There's the Sierra Nevada mountains in the background, still some snow on them here in April. And that is Fern Falls, I just panned by there. And Ravine Canyon, that we can see from this scene right here. There's the still I took of Fern Falls. About 200 feet southwest of that, or southeast of that, is beautiful Ravine Falls seen there. As we leave Ravine Falls, about another 10 to 15 minute hike across some of the most beautiful wildflower country on Table Mountain brings us to the main attraction, Phantom Falls. This is Phantom Falls, Table Mountain Ecological Area. I'm at a really cool spot I've never been to before here, because you can see to the right here also Little Phantom Falls, which very seldom runs at all, and it's running fairly well today, I guess because we've had recent rains. So this is a beautiful area. You can see a little bit of the wildflowers at the top of the tabletop. These waterfalls are both obviously falling off the side of the tabletop. From Phantom Falls, we make our way back south to Ravine Falls and then west across the tabletop in search of Lower Ravine Falls. Sutter Buttes in the background. Lots of cows in this part of North Table Mountain. Coming up on the edge of Ravine Canyon, straight ahead we have Ravine Canyon continuing northeast to Upper Ravine Falls, and then beautiful Ravine Creek flows through this forested area, and over to the left it has a confluence with Coal Canyon, which is where the big waterfall, Phantom Falls, is located up at the end of that on the right. I'm hoping to go down into the bottom of this canyon and find lower ravine falls. Alright, it looks like I just found the trail down to the bottom, down to the bottom of Ravine Canyon, which is the top of Ravine Falls. Lower Ravine Falls, looks like a trail marker right there. So I'm gonna head on down that way and see what I can find. See if I can find Lower Ravine Falls. Interesting, I don't know if I call it a gate, opening in the fence to go through here on the trail. Kind of interesting idea. That way we don't get snagged on the barbed wire. Whole lot of baby's breath along this part of the trail. Lots of bees, you can hear them humming. I'm about ready to cross over Ravine Creek. Waterfall is downstream somewhere. Find out where in a minute. Lower Ravine Falls, Tabletop Mountain Ecological Area. Here's that nick in the fallen log to get over, make it get over easier on the trail. But I noticed something interesting here on the way back. We have some fungus type thing here. Looks pretty cool. Making my way across the southwestern side of Table Mountain, of North Table Mountain. There's a reservoir on private land right over there. And I'm heading toward Beatson Falls again. I was there a week ago, heading that way again, and then I hope to go past that over to some other waterfalls that I tried to go to last week and was unable to make it there. So that's what I'm doing right now. We're now approaching Beatson Hollow, and downstream to our right is Beatson Falls. Little spring area here. And then looking west from this beautiful spring, you can see Beatson Creek. Around a couple more turns there is Beatson Falls. And now we're approaching Beatson Falls Gorge. Beautiful wildflowers. There's been quite a few of these in the last few minutes. Thought you guys might like to see them. A little second here, the waterfall in that gorge right over there. And we've arrived here at beautiful Beatson Gorge. Here's some people looking out over the canyon. We got the pinnacles, especially on the far side in the canyon. We got the beautiful waterfall and the gorgeous flowers here in springtime in Beatson Canyon and Tabletop Mountain. Last time I was here, I was on this side over here, standing around in this area right here, and looking down. I could see that those pinnacles from the other side, looking almost down on them, and then you have the waterfall. So it's just as you can see, a really pretty spot. And now we're going to walk back upstream across Beatson Hollow and then back up the south side of Beatson Gorge to check out Beatson Falls from the other side of the gorge. We're getting ready to ford the stream. Now we're on the southern part of North Table Mountain, just south of Beatson Falls. Here we are at Beatson Falls, one of the more beautiful waterfalls here in Table Mountain Ecological Area. And this is Beatson Canyon, and above the falls is Beatson Hollow. This is quite a spectacular canyon, as you can see. And there's there's a spire right next to the waterfall. We'll go back and take a look at it. And then I like this spire right here. It's kind of cool. It's got a tree growing out on it. Kind of cool. Anyway, this is Beatson Gorge, or Beatson Canyon, and Beatson Falls here in Table Mountain Ecological Area, or more specifically North Table Mountain Ecological Area. We're approaching Hanging Tree Falls. It's at the end of this little creek right here. Well, not the end of it, but that pine tree you can see right there in the middle of the screen. That is the tree, but Hanging Tree Falls. Heading down there right now. Beautiful area here. Hanging Tree Falls is right behind that bush and that pine tree. Here we are at Hanging Tree Falls in the North Table Mountain Ecological Area. This fall hangs right off the edge of a cliff with a pine tree here that's also hanging off the edge of the cliff. Thus the name Hanging Tree Falls. It's a beautiful area here. Beautiful basalt formations in this area. And as we go upstream from the waterfall here in a moment, some nice little, there's a little gorge the waterfall goes through right there in the part you can't see the waterfall or the water. And then you have a bunch of cascades going on up the side of the mountain through this little arroyo or canyon or gorge or whatever you want to call it. Beautiful area here. There's two waterfalls in this canyon here. Crevice Falls on the left that you can't see. It's in a little sub-canyon back on the left. And Long Falls, which is, I believe, going to be in this little canyon there. So we can't see either one of them from here, but there's two fairly decent sized waterfalls. I think Long Falls is one of the, it's either the second tallest or the tallest in the area. So beautiful place here, as I always like to say. Tabletop Mountain and the Sacramento Valley and Sutter Buttes. This is the smallest mountain range in the world, Sutter Buttes. Here's a cool little spire along the edge of the tabletop, kind of broken off and sticking out on its own. Here we are at Crevice Falls. As you can see, it falls into a crevice. Sometimes it's called Crack Falls because it falls into a crack. But anyway, yep, Crevice Falls. Kind of interesting. Crevice Falls is definitely one of the more interesting places to visit in the area. And now we're going to move on to Long Falls. Long Falls is one of the tallest waterfalls in Table Mountain Geological Area, and it's kind of on the south end of Table Mountain. It's a really beautiful waterfall. As you can see, it has terraces, pools and terraces all along the waterfall as the water flows down the side of the Table Mountain. It's pretty awesome. It's a beautiful place. Walking off Table Mountain here at sunset. Man, this area is just the most flowers I've seen so far. All little yellow ones, but very cool. Sun's really low behind. You can see my shadow to the right part of the picture. Sun should be setting in a few minutes. Hopefully I'll get back to the car before it's too dark.